1, Unit 2, but this class is basically organized for you to make you understand about the basics of economics. All right. Might be some of you know about the concept of economics, but I suppose that most of you are quite unaware about the concept of economics. So this class is organized just to give you a brief basic what economics is all about and what we are going to study in this class in our upcoming lectures when we are going to start our unit 1 to unit 10. All right. So this economics classes for MBA semester 1. And today's session is economic path, your gateway to understanding basic economic concepts. All right. And the agenda of today's class is to make you familiar with the concepts of economics, give you the basic idea what economics is all about, how economics uh, help you in your day-to-day activities, or how economics affect your nearby areas. See, economics is everywhere, whether it is related to your buying decisions, whether it is related to your demand, whether it is related to your purchasing. Everything is somehow related to the concepts of economics, and how it is related to the concept of economics and how practically economic concepts can apply by you in your day-to-day life. That we are going to discuss in detail in this session. All right. So we will discuss about techniques, various tools, various few definitions, and few concepts of economics that you do in your day-to-day life. All right. And also, I will try to make you familiar with various economic concepts such as demand, supply, market, price. All this we are going to discuss in our upcoming slides. What is demand? What market is? Although you know that market is a place where purchasing and selling is doing. All these are the practical aspect, but in economics, how you define those practical concepts, that we will going to discuss everything in detail in today's class. Okay. So I have divided this basic Econopath class into two division. So today we are going to focus on the micro aspect of the economics. Micro means that is we will discuss on the how the economics is affect the individual firm, person. All right. And later on we will discuss the macro concept, which are basically related to the whole economy in next class. Okay. So I hope that this class or both the classes will make you familiar with the various concept of economics. All right. So let's start. And I am Dr. Rohit Kumar Singh, and the course coordinator of this subject, Manager Economics. And I have done my BBA, MBA, and MA Economics. I qualified UGC NET and done PhD in management. And I have in total more than of 8 years of experience in education. All right. So before starting what economics is, because as most of you are not very much familiar with the concept of economics, but however, I suppose that most of you are very much aware about what marketing is. You will see marketing in your everyday life, like whether you are going to purchase something, whether you are getting any discounts, whether you are getting any kind of a coupons, whether you are seeing the advertisement, watching the advertisements, and making purchase out of it. And you might see uh, you know the rise in prices of a particular product. Okay, and there may be as well as discount in some products. So how the rise in price, how the discounts, how it will work. So before starting about the economics, let's first understand the marketing. Okay, because it is much more practical for you to understand what marketing is. Then we will shift to economics. All right. So market is understanding what people want. That is what people need, what people want. Okay. And showing them how your product fits into it. Okay. See, marketing is all about developing the product what consumers need or what consumers want. Okay. If he wants a, if he or she wants a, laptop, so you uh, from desktop we shifted to laptop. Now they want more precise, so we shifted to iPads. Then we shifted to smartphones. All right, so that we do have the mobility. So this is all one, this is how the product develop, because it makes the need and want of the people, and accordingly they make the product that fits to your pocket. Not only pocket, but it fits to your demand, it fits to your purchasing power, it fits to your that particular time, it fits to your demand accordingly. So you developed a product by considering all aspect of your consumers. All right. Whether suppose if you want a smartphone, then in smartphone, what you want that a smartphone should be within your budget of around 20 to 25,000, suppose. All right. Now, if within that price range, the product, it is the responsibility of the home manufacturer or the person who is actually providing you the product, that the product should be within this price bracket range. Otherwise, the people may not able to purchase my product. All right. So he needs, the manufacturer needs to fit the product according to the need and demand of the consumers. Whether it is related to the purchasing, whether it is related to the features, whether it is related to the design, whether it is related to the structure, everything needs to be done according to the consumer needs and wants. All right. So what marketing includes? Advertisement and promotion. You will see every time you see the ads, the sales promotion are going on. Okay. The pricing strategy. Now we need to increase the price, or now we need to offer them a discount. Do we need to offer them a coupon based pricing system or discount system? All right. Analytics and performance measurement, that whether my products are able to sell according to my plan, or they are actually deviating. Suppose if I suppose assume that my smartphones will make a purchase in a month, suppose 10,000 units should be sold out, but practically they are not actually sold out. 10,000 units are not sold out. It may be 8,000 or it may be 11,000. So now I have to measure my performance accordingly. Then what are the reason? If it is success, then what are the reason behind the success? And if it is a failure, then what are the reason behind the failure? So all these are the basic concepts of the marketing which you see in your day-to-day life or in your practical life. All right. So now we do understand what marketing is, that how it, but marketing is a very, very new concept. It is not very old. So before introducing the marketing term in the uh, modern world, marketing was not happening before that. There's a marketing was not there. It was there. But we considered that part as a economics, because in economics we do deal with demand, we do deal with supply, we do deal with advertising, pricing, analytics, performance measurement. All things are the part of the economics before the term marketing coined by the Flip Kotler. All right. So before marketing, it was economics that include the marketing as a part of it. All right. So economics is considered as a mother of marketing. All right. Because every concept of marketing, whether it is related to the discount, why discount should be offered to the consumer, why do we need to price the product within this range, every answer, every concept is related to the economics. Okay, and economics is the oldest form of marketing. All right, so you can say that marketing may be coined very later, but economics was there, very much present for the past so many years. And the very first definition that we are going to discuss was given by Adam Smith in 1776. All right, so see how old is economics is, and marketing is very much new as compared to economics. So before marketing, economics is uh, the concept where marketing lies. All right. So there are few questions like why during the peak holiday seasons the demand for flight increases. You see that during holiday seasons or during peak demand, the flight price increases. Okay. Why? Why it is so? The Google ads dominate the search advertising marketing, and they are set very high prices for the same, because Google ads are the dominating in their market, and that's why advertising in those Google ads make them right to have a very high prices for those ads. All right. Retailers like Amazon uses discount, or maybe the Flipkart, Myntra. Nowadays, every OTT platform is offering you discounts to increase the consumer demand. All right. And a small price hike, that is any increase in the price of tea, can lead to consumers to choose alternatives such as coffee. All these are the part of the concept of making, you can say, the marketing. All these are the part of the marketing maybe. But the answer to these questions, that why the peak holiday seasons the demand flight increases, the simple answer lies in economics. And the simple answer is because during the peak holiday season, the demand is excessively high. And when the price is high and the supply is limited, you cannot increase the seats in a flight. So in order to get the most out of those uh, supply which is limited, they increase the price during the holiday seasons. Okay, and this answer lies in the economics, because the demand is very high and the supply is limited, and that's why the price we increases. Simply, economics is or related to the demand and supply. As you all know that if there is a limited demand for something, then the price could be high. All right. And if there is an abundance of the supply, then there could be, uh, maybe the prices are very low for that particular reason. All right. And how the Google ads dominate the search advertising market, allowing it for high prices? Why they are charging so high prices? Because it dominates. Dominates means they have the monopoly, kind of monopoly in the market. Monopoly means that they are the single entity who is having the dominant position in the search advertising market. And because there are no competitors, monopoly means what? There are no competitors of my business, like the Google ads. And if there are no competitors, people are forced to buy my things, if I am the whole supplier of the smartphone, no one else is supplying the smartphone, then I can charge anything for my smartphones because demand is there and people have no choice. They definitely buy my smartphones. Likewise, see, Google Ads dominate the search advertising market, and that's why they are allowed to set high prices for the advertisement. Okay. And retailers like Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart, all uses discount to increase consumer demand, or we can say consumer surplus. See, this is going to be very technical, so I'm not providing the concept of consumer surplus right here because it may gives you slight confusion. But in a very layman language, I'm try to elaborate this, why the Amazon or Flipkart uses discounts. See, if you buy the product, okay, you buy the product by comparing what? By comparing it with whether this product is worth of that particular price or not. Okay, suppose if there is a smartphone of, you can say, $500. All right. So for that $500, all right, you compare the features, the quality, everything, and compare it with the price of the particular smartphone. If you find that the price is uh, at par with the features, quality, everything of the smartphone, then you purchase it. Okay. However, if you find that it is extraordinary high or it is ordinarily high as compared to the uh, features and the quality of the smartphone, then you wait for the discounts. That if they offer certain discounts, then I will buy, otherwise I not. Okay. So here lies the concept of consumer surplus. In a very layman language, I'm telling you this, that what consumer surplus is all about. Okay. So if consumer surplus is there and the price are low, since see, if a smartphone offering so high features that consumer is delighted with the product and they can pay that particular price because they consider that the prices are less, but the product delightness they will get is higher. So that we called as consumer surplus. Okay. However, if consumer thinks that delightness of the particular product is less as compared to the price, okay, that is the price are high and the delightness is less. So there is a gap between this price and delightness of the consumer. So consumer will not buy until unless their delightness, or you can say the consumer surplus, is above the price. All right. Right now it is below the price. So if any company offer you a discount, then what happens? That this price become less and the consumer surplus or the delightness of the consumer will automatically increases. And that's why with discount, the demand increases. So I hope this concept of consumer surplus is clear to you in a very, very layman language. All right. So this is all we are going to discuss in detail, and once we start our classes formally with Unit 1. All right. Thereafter, a small price hike in tea can lead consumers to choose alternatives such as coffee. Why so? See, uh, tea and coffee are considered as a substitute. Means you can use the one product instead of using other. All right. So if you see that the prices of the tea are continuously increasing, so you immediately shift to coffee as a cheaper alternative. And that's why the demand of coffee increases. All right. If the price of tea increases. Suppose if the price of tea remain unchanged, however, the coffee offer higher discounts. So even if the prices of tea remain unchanged, the people shift their demand from tea to coffee, because now the tea becomes the coffee becomes a cheaper alternative to tea. So I hope this concept of tea and coffee, why the consumer chooses alternatives, is clear to everyone. So all these are the concept maybe of the marketing or the related to the marketing, but economics is the answers to all these queries. So I hope till here everything is clear. Okay. Sir, if we do have the question and answer, you can just please let me know. We can immediately answers all their queries. All right.
Yes, sir. One question is arises. The
Okay.
question is that, sir, is consumer surplus thus related to the marginal utility?
See, I think you are much aware about the concept of utility, satisfaction, and consumer surplus. Yes, all are related, but I'm told all this concept in a very layman language, so that non-economic person can easily understand those. So this is the very basic introductory class of very basic economic concepts, so that the non-economic students or learners can able to understand what economics is all about. So yes, you are to an extent right. The utility, consumer surplus, all are related. That we will going to discuss in very much detail once we start our unit. Okay. So I hope this concept is clear. Okay. So if you receive any other questions, sir, please let me know. So now
Sir,
economics.
learners are asking that. Please explain consumer surplus once again.
Okay. See, this is again not a very uh, technical class related to the consumer surplus. Okay, we will do discuss all these concepts in detail. All right, once we start our unit 1. Okay, here the only thing is that you must get an idea about what economics is all about. Okay, so why Amazon uses discounts to increase the consumer surplus. See, understand it like as if someone is offering you a product. Okay, suppose you are going to purchase a car. Okay, and there the salesperson tells you that this car is having this much of features, this much of uh, advanced features, these many uh, flattery prices. You will have the good power windows, steering, good music system. Everything is there. So in your back of mind, you assume a price. Okay, for that particular car. You, according to the features you see, according to the design you see, according to the uh, salesman who is explaining you the features, accordingly you uh, you know you know assume a price of that particular product. Suppose in Indian rupees the particular car is suppose maybe 10 lakhs. Now, after explaining all the features, and you assume that the price of the car may be 10 lakhs. Okay. And once the salesman done with explaining all the features, the design, the characteristics of the cars, now you ask them, what's the price? In your mind, it is 10 lakh. You assume that it is 10 lakhs. But the salesman said that the price of the car is 9,50,000. All right. So that 50,000 you can consider as a consumer surplus. Okay. Because you assume 50,000 more. Okay. This is the consumer surplus, and that's why you purchase a product. Okay. That okay, fine. I assume that it could be 10 lakhs, but now you are saying that it is for 9,50,000, so I will purchase. So that's why the demand increases. Suppose if the salesman said that you assume 10 lakhs prices, now the salesman say that the car is of 10 lakhs 20,000 Indian rupees. So now what? That for you that 20,000 is considered as the restricted amount, that because you assume that it is not worth more than 10 lakhs. All right. So if the salesperson offer you a discount of suppose 20,000, then you will able to purchase the uh, particular car. All right. Because now you are kind of a, yeah, my surplus is almost equal, or if he is offering you a 50,000 discount, so the actual price of the car will be 9,70,000. So accordingly, there is a 10,000 surplus they have created via discount. Okay. In a very layman language, I am telling you. Otherwise, there is a concept of utility and all, which you have already told me. But in a very layman language, to make you understand that this gap, what you are ready to pay and what you are actually paying, is the consumer surplus. So I hope this concept is clear to everyone. Now, economics. See, as I told you, economics is a very, very old concept. Okay, so Adam Smith is the first one and considered as the father of economics, who actually gave the definition of economics in 1776. Okay, so what he said? He said that economics is the study of the nature and causes of wealth, the wealth of nations. Just don't go on the technicality of the definition. Uh, Here, the Adam Smith is only focusing that economics is related to the wealth. Okay, so economics is basically related with the wealth of nation, that is the GDP, the uh, consume employment rate, inflation. Only those activities that are related to the generation of wealth is economics. So the very first definition of economics is given by Adam Smith, and according to him, economics is wealth. Okay, economics is related to wealth. Although it may be corrected in 1776, it may be considered as one of the good definition. But later on, as we, you know, get to know much more about the concept of economics, few people find this definition as very limited or very, underrated. And they have given several reasons for it. For example, they stated that the Adam Smith definition is only focusing on the wealth, that is how the wealth is coming. Suppose industry has been organized and they are generating wealth, and that particular industry is economics. However, if something is done for the welfare without considering the wealth. Okay, welfare, for example, like in most of the cases, railways, they are focusing more on the or the government policies. All right, all government policies are mostly focused on the welfare rather than generating the wealth out of it. So people ask question that there are certain um, activities in the economy who are not for wealth. They are people are doing those things for the welfare of the society. Most of the government policies, all right. And for example, if some teacher is providing lectures free, just so that the literacy rate can be improved, or if there is an industry who is providing free education to the students, they are not generating wealth out of it, but they are impacting the economy. All right. So welfare should be the part of should also be the part of economics. So people criticize the Adam Smith definition by saying that the definitions particularly um, focus on the wealth part of only and ignoring the welfare. Thereafter, new classical definition of economics came, which was given by Alfred Marshall in 1890. What he said that economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. Again, don't go on the technicality of the definition again. The economics is how the mankind works in the daily life. Okay, how the mankind works in the daily life, and it may include the wealth and it may include the welfare. Both the concepts could be included. Okay. However, a few economists also criticize this definition of Alfred Marshall and stated that as the definition of economics is the which was given by Alfred Marshall is related to the mankind, which may include the welfare. But how will you calculate the welfare? All right. So how you can going to measure the welfare? That this much of welfare could be done or uh, can be done by this particular industry or the individual. So again, this definition is criticized because welfare is very much subjective. Okay. It may be different for me. It may be very different to you. It may be very different to the third person. So it becomes subjective because every person have different view on the welfare. All right. So welfare is subjective. That's why this definition is criticized by the economists. And it also does not include the societal factors. They said that it is the study of the mankind, not the society as a whole. Okay. So the definition missing the welfare part, the definition is missing the societal part. Again, don't go on the technicality of the words used here. Okay. Just understand how the economics evolved with these definition. Okay. Now, after criticizing the definition by the Adam Smith and Marshall, the new definition comes out to be which is related to the scarcity, and this is given by Robbins in 1932. And according to Robbins, economics is the science, okay, which studies human behavior as a relationship between ants and scarce means which have alternate uses. Again, don't go on the technical of this definition. I'm just giving you as a very layman idea that how this definition is different from the above two. So first definition, Adam Smith is related to the wealth. Second is related to the welfare, which is criticized on the part that welfare is subjective. So Robbins suggests that economics is a science. Okay, economics is a science. Focus on the word. Economics is the science. Science word up to just remember the word science. Okay, it is a science which studies human behavior. Means it is a again the study of the human being. It is a science and it is a study of human behavior as a relationship between ends. Ends of what? Human ends. See, as you all know, human wants are unlimited. Today, if you are having a bike, you need car. Today, you are having a car, you need a big car. If you are having a big car, now you are need a very branded car. Okay. So there is not an end to the human wants or needs. So there is no end of human wants. Today we need this. Once need, but that particular need satisfy, we need something other. And once that satisfy, we need something different. So human wants are unlimited. Okay. But satisfying those wants with various resources. And those resources are scarce, very limited in nature. For example, if you have 100 rupees of note, okay, suppose not 100 rupees, maybe $100. You have $100. You can buy n number of things with $100. Okay, but the restriction is that you have only $100. Okay, you are not having more than $100. Okay, now if you want to spend that particular $100, how will you spend? Because your wants are unlimited. Now you categorize those wants into what you want to finish first, then you make a hierarchical order of your wants that you are going to satisfy with that $100, and accordingly you satisfy. But still there are so many wants which remain unsatisfied. Why? Because you have the limited resource. And likewise in the economy, whether the economy is huge, but the resources all are limited and scarce. Okay. And that too, those resources have alternate uses. Alternate uses means that with that $100, you can either buy, suppose, a laptop, or you can either buy the smartphone, but you can choose only one. Means that $100 have two uses, or it can be used to suppose purchase something printer. So that $100 have three uses, three alternate uses. Okay. So now you have to choose that which you want to satisfy with that particular $100. So again, coming to definition, that human wants are unlimited and resources are limited, and those resources also have different uses. So Robbins said that economics is the science that identified or studied the relationship between the human wants, which are unlimited, and the limited resources that have alternate uses. Okay, so this was the definition given by Robbins. Again, few economists said that although this definition is good, but it ignores the uh, macro view or the large view, which may be related to the growth, employment, and other things. And it only considered economics as science. And now What do you mean by that economics is only considered as science? See, in science, we do study the concepts which are universal truth. Universal truth means 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Whether you are studying in India or you are studying in US or you are studying in China, 2 plus 2 means 4. Okay. But in economics, because human behavior is not science that they act in this way only. Human behavior changes, and that's why it cannot be considered as science. Maybe today the human is thinking in this particular way. Once their demand or want is satisfied, they think completely differently. So you cannot, you know, consider human behavior as a science that they act in this particular order only. Okay. So economics cannot be considered as a science, particularly related to the human behavior. And that's why this definition is criticized. Again, the Samuelson in 19, Paul Samuelson in 1948, giving the modern definition of economics. And in this definition, included all or majority of the aspect of all the definition. Like economics is the study how people and society, include both people, that is individual, and the society, overall society, choose with or without the use of money. That is, see, some resources may include the exchange of money and some may not include the exchange of money, may not related to generate the wealth. If I am teaching free, I'm not generating wealth out of it. So, with or without the use of money, employ the limited or scarce resources to produce commodities or products for the consumption of the whole individual or the society now or in the future. So this is the definition which is included all the aspects of the previous definitions. So again, don't go in the technicality of this definition. It is all related to the previous definition which was given by Smith, Marshall, and Robbins. Now, after this, the modern definition also includes that economic studies how to improve people's lives through efficient resource use while addressing social, environmental, and ethical concerns. Again, it includes all the aspects within these short definition. So I'm not going to discuss much technicality about all these about this definition. Okay. So I hope till here the concept or the how the evaluation of the definition of economics is clear to you. Sir, if we do have any question, you can just let me know
Yes, sir. I have pasted some queries in the sir chat box.
in the chat box. Okay, just
Yes, sir.
okay, fine. Let me just answer your query in the chat box. Sir, if a consumer pays some extra amount for a particular commodity, then it is a consumer surplus. See, again, it is a very technical question. However, if a consumer wants to pay extra, okay, but he is getting that particular product in a lesser amount, then it is, of course, it is a consumer surplus. Okay. Sir, area is dependence to demand. Sorry, I am not getting it. Area is dependence to demand. Area about what? Area, geographical area? Yes. If what I am getting that if population, if the population is high, then the demand might be high, and if the population is less, of course the demand is less. So yes, if you are talking about geographical area, yes, the demand is affected by a geographical area. Sir, I am having a question. In case of more demand for a particular, how the price will get raised? See, The demand increases. If the demand increases, I don't have the resources to supply my product to everyone, because as you know that resources are limited. So I have only one option, to increase the price. Okay. That's why I increase the price of the product, because the demand is huge and I cannot able to satisfy all the demands because my products are limited. Why it's increasing and who is increasing? It is increasing because of the concept of demand and supply only. Okay. Who is increasing? The supplier is increasing, or the market. Market forces the supplier to increase your, price of the product. Okay. What is making to increase the price high? Demand and supply only, the market. Okay. What type of marketing is needed to grow the company or create high demand? See, marketing is a very new concept. This is not actually the marketing class. I am just giving you uh, the concept of marketing because you all are much aware about the day-to-day marketing activities. Okay, this is not related to the marketing class. Okay, which book we have to refer for managerial economics? Okay, see, you can simply go to the SLM of your LMS, and there you find the suitable notes in a very short manner, and also you can find the number of title of the books which are present there. Okay. Although there are certain books like Ahuja and ML State that you can refer. Okay. Please show the previous slide of modern economics definition. See, modern economics definition is all about it basically the combination of all the above definitions. Okay. Our focus is not to make, uh, you know, uh, uh, make you, understand or make you just write those definition of economics which I have told you. Just understand the concept of economics in a very layman language and try to, you know, define economics in your way. Okay. This class is only to make you aware what economics is all about. I'm not focusing to, and I'm not even in exams. I don't want that you write all the bookish language. I want that you must create your own definition with your own words, so that uh, you can are not dependent on those notes or the bookish language. You must understand the concept and make use of those concept to define the economics according to you. Okay. Please, okay. In the coming days, how economic will impact in day-to-day life? See, economics is all about related to our day-to-day life. Whether it is related to the increase in the price, whether it is related to the discounts offering by the various OTT channels or OTT platforms, the demand, the supply, the in fact, if we focus on the macro aspect, the unemployment rate, the consumption, investment saving, all these are the part of the economics that we will going to discuss again in once we start the class formally with unit 1. Okay, this is the introductory class and the very basic class. So just limit yourself to the basic concept that how the economics is, what economics is, what it contribute to our day-to-day life. Just focus on Okay. So can I start my presentation again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So now we do understand the very basic concept of that how definition of the economics, that how the definition of economics evolved. Now we shift to our subject, that is managerial economics. See, managerial economics is quite different from the economics in definition. Okay, what is the difference? Economics is, as you already know, that it is wealth, it is welfare, it is the use of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited human wants, or maybe it is related to how the society chooses the resources to best satisfy their demands. Okay, all these are the definition of economics. And economics gives various concept of demand, supply, pricing, cost, market. All these concepts are given by economics. Okay. So what is managerial economics? Managerial economics is basically that is the economics which is used by the managers for their decision making. Okay. So managerial economics, two words are there, economics and managerial. Managerial means managers. Managers are whom? Who take the decisions. Okay. And economics is economics concepts. So manager economics is when manager takes the decisions with the help of economics concepts and theories that we called as managerial economics. Okay. So just understand the concept. Manager economics. You can define this manager economics in your way, in your own way. Okay. Don't just write the bookish language in your exams or in your practical life. Just understand the concept and make the definition by your own. Okay. Here also that I have written that manager economics applies economic principle to business decision making. Manager do what? Manager takes a decision. And once the manager takes the decision with the help of economic concepts, theories, then we called it as a managerial economics. Definition is clear to everyone. Now, what are the basic fundamental question in economics? What to produce? See, as I told you, we do have the limited resources. Okay, whether it is supply of money, whether it is the supply of the raw material, every raw material is limited. So with that limited raw material, what we need to produce and what we need to produce, that is demanded by the consumer. Okay, so first we need to focus on what consumer wants, and accordingly we utilize our scarce or the limited resources to produce that particular product which is demanded by the consumer. Okay, so the very first fundamental question in economics is what to produce with the limited resources. Of course, we will produce what is needed by the consumer. Okay, now we understand that it is needed by the consumer. This we need to produce. Now, how to produce? See, we understand the need of the consumer. Suppose he needs a smartphone. Now, how to produce? How to produce means that whether we will focus on the labor intensive techniques or whether we should focus on the capital intensive techniques. That is, we should more rely on the labor or we should more rely on the machines. How we are going to produce it? Because how to produce is directly related with the cost of producing. Okay, it may affect the price of the product, that how you are going to produce. Because maybe if you opt for labor intensive techniques, it may result in a lesser price of the product. However, installing heavy machineries may lead to higher price of the product. So you have to identify the better mix of both the techniques. So we do understand what to produce. We do understand how to produce. Now, for whom to produce? That is, we are producing for the masses or we are producing for the particular segment. Okay. See, the target audience of every product is completely different. Okay. For example, the target audience of Audi and BMW is completely different as compared to the target audience of Hyundai. All right. So, for whom you are producing, you need to answer this question before actually you market your product. All right. So I hope these three fundamental questions of economics are clear to you. Sir, if we do have any question arises here, please let me know about what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Although I try to give you much clear idea from my side, but if there is any question, then you can just ask me here. Do we have any questions, sir? Okay. Now we divide the whole economics into two parts. First is micro and the other is macro. Micro means small and macro means large, the bigger picture. As in the very starting of this lecture, I have told you that in this today's lecture, I am focusing on the micro parts, and in the later lecture, I am going to focus on the macro parts. So what micro and macro is? Micro means small individuals. Macro means large masses we are talking about. Okay. So macroeconomics is mainly focused on the individual units, individual consumers, individual firm, individual market. And the concept included in microeconomics are demand and supply, elasticity. Don't go on the technicality of this, what elasticity is all about, what demand and supply is all about, what opportunity cost. This we will going to discuss in detail, very much in detail. Okay. But what macroeconomics included here is demand and supply. Elasticity, that is, if I change the price, how much demand changes. Okay. Opportunity cost. Market structures. We divide the market structure in perfect monopoly and oligopoly. That is we will going to discuss later. Okay. So all these are the concept of microeconomics. Macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is focused on the entire economy rather than on the individual units. That is, instead of focusing on the individual demand and supply, in macroeconomics, we deal with the aggregate demand. Aggregate means that is the whole demand of the economy and whole supply of the economy. Okay. At the national or the global level, we will discuss the concept of economics in macroeconomics. And it includes gross domestic product, inflation, unemployment, fiscal policies, monetary policies. All these are the part of the macroeconomics. So economics we divide in micro and macro. Micro means small, macro means large. Micro focuses on individual, macro focuses on entire economy. Now, before ending this session, just I'm asking you or provide you the explanation of a very famous paradox, which is diamond and water paradox. See, water is highly essential for us. Okay, it is a life survival. But on the other hand, diamonds are not life survival. They are not even essential. If one don't have, it is okay. You don't need diamonds to, you know, for surviving your life, but you need water. You need water to survive. Then my question here is, why the diamonds are expensive, not the water? Why the diamonds are expensive in comparison to water? The answer lies in economics. See, why the diamonds are expensive and water is not. The only reason is the availability. Diamonds are very limited. On the other hand, water is available extensively. Water is available beyond what we can demand. Very high availability of the water. But on the other side, diamonds are very, very limited or scarce. And this is the reason why diamonds are expensive in comparison to water, which is a life savior. Okay, so I hope you all are must get familiar with the very basic concepts of the economics, that how we are going to start our concepts, theories of economics. So this is a very basic idea of economics, particularly microeconomics we have studied in this class. In the next class, we will going to study about the macroeconomics part. So till here, if you have any doubt, you can just ask in the chat box, and I'm very happy to answer all your queries. So thank you so much and best wishes from my side for your upcoming lectures. Okay, so if you have any queries, you can just ask in the chat box. And yes, please give the feedback of the lecture. Sir, the recording will be available to the learners of this class.
So this is a live class, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. I'm showing you once again all the PPTs if possible. And if there is any other question. Yes, because the diamonds are rare. Very good. Yes, the answer is diamonds are to get and water is easily obtained. Yes, not obtained. Yeah, water is very easily available. That's the reason only. Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So you all are very much aware about all this. Okay. Not extraction of diamond is costly, but aware that the not only the extraction process is costly, but also the diamonds are very rarely available. Okay, that's why they are very high as compared to the water. Okay, fine. From my side, I do understand that you all understand about the water and diamond paradox? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, fine, 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 fine. Sir, micro and macro are mutually dependent on each other. Yes, true. Somehow, yes, micro and macro are dependent on each other. Macro basically give rise to the macro. Can you explain how to produce? See, how to produce is basically uh, whether you do have the limited resources, you do need to consider the cost and revenue analysis. So you have either two techniques basically to produce a product. Labor intensive, that is more focusing on the labor part because they are cheaply available and make your price of the product slightly lower. And the capital part, that is the machinery, it initially the cost of installing the machinery and all is very 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 high, and it may result in the price of the product because it may lead to very high price of the product because your cost is high of producing the product. That is how to produce. So you need to uh, identify the uh, best suitable technique for how you can produce a particular good. Okay. Can you explain how to produce? Okay. Explain again number three. What number three is? The slide number three or the point number three? Yeah, I do have already explained about how to produce, but usually the good which are labor intensive or higher value of price and machine goods. See, initially, the labor intensive may you find cheaper. Later on, it may lead to very high cost. However, on the other case, that is capital intensive or the machine intensive, initially the cost of installing the machine and everything is very high. However, later on, it may reduce your cost, but initially, uh, it increase the price or increase the cost of your goods. That's why I'm saying that you need to identify that how to produce the better mix of both the techniques. Okay. How to access the market situation, which product can introduce and on what time. See, market situation is all depend upon how you the demand is in the market and how much you are going to supply. Based on those concept of demand and supply, you can easily take the decision about the pricing of the product, about the uh, production of the product. Okay, I'm not going into much detail that what else you can do, but simply you can do the demand analysis or you can do the estimation of the demand that this much of demand is there in the market. So accordingly, you supply your product, and based on the supply and demand, you take several decisions. How to produce? Please repeat, sir. So how to again? I have already repeat that particular concept, and how to produce basically means that how we can able to produce a particular, whether through machines or whether through some labor intensive techniques. Okay, so we need to identify the better mix of both the, because both have their own advantages and limitations. Provide an example of com comply of above three in into a single thing. See, you can have suppose if someone is you identified it, what to produce means that you want to produce a smartphone, suppose, with the limited resources. Then you decided that I going to produce the smartphones. How to produce, whether I should only focus on the labor intensive techniques or should I more focus on the capital or the machine intensive, because both have their own limitations. Okay. And whom to produce, that is what should be the price of my product. Like my product is only for this segment or my product is for masses. For example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are for masses, but it is not equally true to the product which is suppose produced by smartphones or the laptop manufacturers, because they are not doing the mass production. They are focusing on creating the particular needs of the particular segment, because some wants these many features, basic features and a laptop. Some want very advanced features, while some other wants gaming features in laptop. So you are targeting different uh, population or different segment of the market. Okay. Whom to produce? I have also gave you the example that whom to you are producing. You are producing for the teenagers, or you are producing for the high society, or you are producing to the you know lower society, or medium society. What you, for whom you are producing, or you are producing for all the masses. Okay. One more briefing on managerial economics. See, managerial economics is basically, as I told you, the manager and economics. Okay. When the manager takes certain decisions by utilizing the concept theories of economics, it is what we called as managerial economics. Is there any difference? Yes, there is a difference between need and wants, but however, in today's lecture, just focus that needs and wants that I have explained to you have the same meaning. Okay. However, they both are different, that we will going to discuss later. Okay. Please repeat again what. Could you please how to produce? I have already explained how to produce. How to produce, how to produce, how to produce is again, please understand. We can produce with the help of labors, or we can produce with the help of machines. Okay. If we are and also we can produce by combining the better mix of both. That is, uh, during some uh, production process, we are more focusing on labor, and during some production, we are more focusing on the machines. Okay. So how to produce? We basically decide we are focusing on the labor intensive, capital intensive, or the mix of the both. Okay. Whom to produce? Again, that which segment you are targeting. See, every segment have different uh, needs. Okay. So accordingly, you want to produce that particular good for whom you are targeting. You cannot produce the good and then decide to whom I should target. You, before production, you decide that this segment I am targeting. For example, if you are targeting the lower segment of the society, okay, and you are producing the smartphone, then your price band within that, the purchasing power of that lower segment group, that is within the $100 or $200. Okay, you can, if within that range the smartphone is available, they can easily purchase. However, if you are targeting that segment and you are uh, pricing the product $500 or 1,000 or $800, then of course your product may not result into a very huge demand. So could you explain, please repeat the second? Yeah, it is ML set. So suppose if I have resources to satisfy consumer demand, then may I increase the price or decrease the price of the product? See, satisfy the consumer demand. You do have the satisfy the product to satisfy. Everyone has, every manufacturer is focusing on satisfying the particular need of the consumer. But how much demand is there? Accordingly, you set the price. Okay. For example, see, sometimes what happened, uh, you control, see, demand is not in your hand. Okay. But what price is in your hand? So if you want that my demand should be high, the demand of my product should be high. So you reduce the price and maybe the market increase their demand, because that's how the law work. Okay. So the increase or decrease in price again depend upon the demand and supply of the product. Okay. So could you please repeat the second book reference name? It is ML Set. Is manager economics subjective to an individual business? It implies that manager economics is internal economics and it contributes up to the overall nation economics. See, manager economics include both the aspect, micro and macro. Okay, because micro units collectively contributes to the overall nation. And once we talk about overall nation, then it becomes macroeconomics. So yes, manager economics is focusing on the individual businesses. And yes, it could be subjective. Yes, it could be subjective. And that's why we cannot call manage economics as science, because science means it is not subjective. It is universal truth. 2 plus 2 equals to 4 only in any universe. Okay. However, manager economics, because the decision, you are utilizing the economics concept, but the decision I take is completely different, you take is completely different. So it is subjective. Okay. Yes, ma'am, I have already repeat the second book reference name, which is ML Sate, and first I have told you the Ahuja Manager Economics. Okay. Ahuja and ML Sate. And you can also find your books, reference books in your LMS portal. Okay. How many types of economics? Micro and macro only. What will be need book of economics? Why you need to book of economics? Why you need book of economics? Shikhar, this is what you want to ask. You need because you want to understand the concept of economics and theories. Okay. Will we be getting access to the PDF for reference very soon? Can we get your PPT as our resources for study and using them as notes? Yes, but this is the very basic idea. So this is not the PPT related to your units or exams. Okay. Again, I am telling you, this is only the uh, giving you the idea what basic economics is all about. This is not related to your exams. Okay. I don't understand the modern definition. See, uh, I'm not here or the definition which I have given. I don't want that focus on the technicality of the definition. The modern definition is all about that how the society, not only the individual, but how the overall society chooses the limited resources to satisfy the human wants. It basically include all the basic definitions of the previous economist. Okay. Managing your day-to-day budget is also an economics, yes, to an extent. Ma'am, I do have repeat the both the book names, that is HL Ahuja Managerial Economics and ML Seth Managerial Economics. See, modern definition again, it is related to how the society chooses the limited resources to satisfy unlimited human wants. If I want to study economics of a particular country or region, then what are the factors one should consider to touch? See, this question by Civic is related to the macroeconomics aspect that we will going to cover in the next lecture. Although you can consider the GDP, the inflation rate, and their unemployment employment rate, and their GNP, NNP, all these are the part of the economics if you want to compare the country or the region. Okay, please explain the modern definition is again all about um, resources. So how the society utilize the limited resources? Yeah, a Paul Samuelson definition is all about the modern definition only. In the coming days, how economics will impact in day-to-day life. Economics is impacting your day-to-day life. Every decision making business are doing, every decision making you are doing is a part of the economics. Contemporary perspective PPT, please. See, contemporary perspective is basically the advanced version of the. Okay. Any other questions? If you can suggest a book, it would be good for us. I have already suggested you a book, HL Ahuja and ML Seth. Please show the previous slide of modern economics. Definitely modern. I have just shown you the slide. Which book we have to refer? I have already told you HL Ahuja and ML Seth. Do we access to these? Yes, definitely you will have the access to the PDFs. Is these definition important for exam perspective? See, these definitions are not basically related to from relation in terms of your exam perspective, because I have make you understand these definition, write these definition in very layman language. So these definition may not have direct perspective in relation to your exams. Okay. Can help to share previous slides again, please. Which slides you are talking about, Sudhagar? Priya Day, kindly show the PPT of new classical. Okay. This is new classical. See, these definitions are not related to your exams. These are only related to make you understand how the economics is basically evolved. Okay. Please take the screenshots. Thank you. Sir, essay on the essay is the book who wrote? No, it is the research paper wrote by the Lionel Robbins. Resources are scarce. Yes, resources are scarce means limited. Okay, Kautilya in his Arthashastra viewed economics as the science of earth or wealth, encompassing livelihood, territory, inhabitants of nation, emphasizing its small for state. Yes. Okay. This is that's why today government is privatizing everything to start focusing on wealth. See, again, these are all the part of not the part of actually the discussion. See, again, the economics is again not focusing only on the wealth. Okay, uh, the even the government is focusing on all the government policies are related to the welfare. Okay, that's why the definition of the economics was criticized by economists, that one should also include the welfare part and should not only focus on the wealth. Okay, welfare of everyone. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. So means the consumer can afford 10 lakhs, but 15K is below the consumption power. That is the surplus. Yes. The surpluses means extra, the which the consumer is willing to pay and what he actually pays. If it is positive, it is consumer surplus. Okay. In case of more demand for a particular product, how the price will get raised? Why it is increasing? Who is increasing? See, I have already given Ashok this answer that because of the demand and supply contraction, the price will increase or decrease, or you can take the decision about whether I should increase the price or decrease the price. Okay, the market will make your price adjustable. Okay, Shani, what type of marketing is needed to grow the company or create a high demand? See, uh, and marketing and with economics will provide you certain theories, certain theories and concepts that will lead to creating better demand in future for the product. That we will be going to discuss in later, that because it includes much technicality. Okay, Trisha. So just right now focusing on the economics part only. Devani, sir, please explain the concept of analytics and performance measurement in marketing. See, uh, analytics is what, or performance measurement is what? If suppose you are having the target of to sell 100 smartphones, but you are unable to sell, say you sell 80 smartphones. So how your performance is made measure against? By comparing your 80 sales with the targeted 100 sales. And if it is less, then you are not performing well. And if it is more than 100, then you are performing at par. Okay. Okay, I got it clear. Thank you. So thank you. So I'm having a question in case of more demand of a particular product, how the price that I have already given the answer, Ashok. Okay. Anshul, sir, if a consumer pays some extra amount for a particular commodity, no, it is not